Hey everybody, Meredith here, host of Get Real with Meredith. And we are talking about Gen Z and Jesus this week. Having some real conversations. Alaina and I have been friends for a bit now. I met her through church, through her mom, through Griefshare, which you'll hear a little bit about. But, I guess we've kind of have shared this desire for her generation to come to Jesus. And I'm super excited about this because I have such a fire in my belly for her generation, but I also know that I'm a little older and I need ladies like Alaina to help me reach that generation. So, but I do believe that some of the experiences I've been through can help the next generation make some better choices. Mm-hmm. So, I really want to don't turn it off if you're a woman that's my age, if you're, a millennial or a Gen Xer, don't turn it off because you need to know about this generation. Because I think sometimes we judge the next generation, but I think you need to turn off your judgments and just really listen to the conversation and learn more about honestly why they need you. Because if God has carried you through things, your story is huge for these guys. They need authenticity. They need people that are willing to be real and, not be afraid to share their stories. So if you're that person, we're going to need you. The Guiding God's Daughters ministry is all about reaching this generation and building up the women that are going to connect with these young women. So don't underestimate that. You may be like, oh, my kids are in, I'm an empty nester. My kids are out of the house. Doesn't matter. You can still be a voice in these guys' life. So, and for the young people, college, 20-something, Alaina's in college. She'll tell you about that. But, it can feel kind of isolating if you're not going to a big Christian school. It can feel kind of isolating to be pursuing a relationship with Jesus. So I pray that this podcast helps confirm, you may be hearing the Lord whispering to you that he wants to be closer to you. Let this kind of maybe help you remove that fear of pursuing a relationship with him. And of course, here comes the cat we were talking about. Alaina, like I said, we went to church together. We go to church together, but she is a student at Western Michigan. Yeah. I'll let you introduce yourself a little.
I go to Western.
And speak up.
I go to Western Michigan. I study business education, so I'm a kind of business major, but also an education major, high school mostly. Right now, I'm also in a sorority. Sigma Kappa is the organization. And then, I coach volleyball for Three Rivers, and I'm now starting my sub experience.
Oh, good, yes. Good. She's also what I see as an overcomer. She's got a power. She's a bold woman. You are, girl. Not messing around, getting it done. She's gonna go places in life, but it makes me see someone who is going to be on fire for the Lord as she grows older with the people God puts in her life. Mm-hmm. I think so. I'm going to ask her some questions about some of the things she's involved in. And we're going to talk a little about kind of what brought her closer to God. And, before we do that, tell me, because you kind of grew up in the church, right?
Yeah. I don't really remember much, but we started off as Baptist. The First Baptist Church, I think. Yeah. Down over by Fulkerson or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
Their new branding name, so don't quote me on that church. But that's where I kind of grew up going to Sunday school, and then Chuck, our pastor, moved in across the street, and he was like, hey, come to our church. So we just decided to go there, which is Summit Church. And since then it's been like that. When I was 10, I got baptized. 10-year-old me was way different faith than I have now, but that was childlike faith, and that's what we all want to be. But
we always want to return to that childlike faith,
Yep.
Because we know we're his daughters, and so I'm going to start with this question, partly because we were just talking about it, but there's a couple things she's been involved in that I think give a really interesting perspective on college. So she's involved in a group in a Bible study kind of group at her school with sororities and fraternities.
Yeah. So the group's called GRWM. It's crew ministry. It's just kind of like a branch of crew, like a type of crew. I don't know if they're directly affiliated, but I'm pretty sure they are.
Yeah.
We tend to do crew missions and stuff like that, and it's just more of a not secluded, I don't know what word I want to use, but just like more inviting space for sorority and fraternity kids or Greek life kids in general, just to go and, really practice their faith and find their faith and stuff, just because a lot of the time it is hard for people because, the stereotypes, I will say, of fraternity and sorority life is true.
Yes, it is.
Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Anything you probably think, it's probably happened, and it probably still does happen. But there is a group of us that it just started, I think, last year.
It's that fresh. Okay.
Yeah, but there is a good amount of us. We have at least 6 regulars, and then we'll get like a few couple here and there, which is really good to see. But it's like also we want to continue to grow that and be like witnesses in other people's lives and such like that.
And I think the really amazing thing about that is that it's in that these guys are in that network. It's like the biggest center of partying in a college system. And there's like this little light of Christ shining right in the middle of it.
And I do want to say, like, I never, when anyone asks me if they should go through recruitment for a sorority or fraternity, I will never say no. You shouldn't do it. Because it truly gives you so many opportunities, one, to learn about yourself, two, to network, get like your foot in the door, and it gives you so many leadership things and stuff like that, connections. Yes, it does, and it is a resume builder, I will say, but don't do that just because of a resume builder. And you create so many good friendships. But yes, the partying aspect, the like bad things you only hear about, because there's a lot more good to me than there is bad. But all the bad things you hear about do happen. And it's sad, but
right. And I actually think, and we'll talk about this later, but I think about all those bad things that happen, and I think about those girls that go through things, and because I've walked with some of these girls at Notre Dame that have gone through those things like right after the moment, and it's like those are the ones that need someone that be like, I'm here to listen. Let's be real. What's going on? I'm not going to judge you. Like, so it's like it is happening, but if there's a little light of Christ going on and you guys can show up for those people, I think that's just I mean, because when I was in college and I was having my drinking issues and like my friends, and I went to a Catholic school, and my friends would be like, oh, Mary, it's not a big deal, you just got wasted too much, and I would keep having these issues and I drank, but nobody educated us on the issues like alcohol, like I would give lectures at Notre Dame on like, because these girls would all be drinking too much, and they'd bring me in, and these girls would be like, so if I just have 5 beers, does that? I'm like, it's not about how many you drink. It's about why you're drinking.
Yeah, and also what is your limit?
Yeah, exactly.
It's different for everyone.
But you're not, but it's not really taught. It's like, they probably talk about like the dangers of sexual assault kind of stuff, which is also important, but it's also like knowing yourself, but that's a whole other story. But so Crew, you were also involved with Crew in Florida. She went on a mission trip this year.
Yes, it was amazing. I have nothing but good things to say about that. Honestly, it felt like a fever dream. I can tell you right now, I probably am missing half of my memories from there.
Wow.
Just because it was such like a Christ high.
Oh, I love it.
And it was amazing. We got to like just dive into the Word every single morning, and then we not forced time with God, but it was like written into our schedule that we had an hour of quiet time every day, and it was beautiful, amazing. I loved it. And I wish I could still dedicate that every single day, but life.
An hour can be hard.
An hour's hard. Life takes a hold of you.
Yep.
It's sad. I wish it could be I wish I could have the exact same schedule as I did down there, which was I wake up at 8:00, go to church for an hour at 9, and then have quiet time with God for an hour, and then go to small group, and then like 6-7 hours of free time, and then dinner. That's what I wish my whole entire life could look like. But
it's I will tell you, here's a wisdom bomb for those of you watching. Like, those are the mountain peaks with God. It's like, and I used to like when I got sober, it was like I would just have so many of those. Like, oh God, wow. But we think we're meant for the mountaintops, but we're meant for the valleys. You're always going to go back to the valleys. So it's like, how do you see God working in the valleys?
Yeah.
You know?
So, but
it's cool that you had that.
It was definitely, we always talked about it too, because it was all Greek kids. It was all kids that were in sororities and fraternities that went, most of the schools that went were south. I was the only northerner there.
We got to do some work in the north here.
The most north other than me was Virginia Tech, which...
Oh my gosh, that's not even north.
Not even north. But that's the most north. Or DC, but...
Yeah, that's still kind of south.
DC's
like that's Virginia, like the top of the south.
It's like at the Virginia border or wherever. But, but it was really cool to see, like, people even in my sorority, which is very exclusive to, like, the norms of like people, like just like Christianity and certain things, like belief systems, but are so inclusive with everything else, that it was really cool to see that girls in my sorority or just like around the nation were like on fire for Jesus. And it was awesome. And then we also got to talk about things like, how am I gonna bring this back to my chapter without getting in trouble with advisors and with nationals and stuff like that.
Yep.
So we got to do all that, but it's not that that's a bad thing that they want to be inclusive to everyone. But you have to be
strategic in how
yes, because you don't want to disclude people, and like I don't like doing that already.
Oh yeah, no, you want to invite people.
That was the biggest reason I went to Sigma Kappa as one, because they had 5 philanthropies, and I'm a big giving back to my community type of person. And one of that is like one of their core values is service. And their other value is friendship, loyalty, and personal growth.
Oh, I love that.
Which all 4 of those encapsulate
you.
Me. Yeah. So that's just me. But that's like the biggest reason, and I know that's like where I belong, like sorority wise. Like that is the home that I have. And that I was meant for, but I think I was also meant for a little bit of change in it.
Oh yeah.
Possibly.
Well, I think you are a trailblazer, and like she and I have talked about, how do we bring Guiding God's Daughters to a public school like Western, and like how do you because
it's a lot harder.
It is. It's a lot, because it's like, I do see girls like you can be like these little mentor, like you can be peer. There's so much power in the peer mentoring, but it's like, how do you?
It happened with my little, which is just like a little sister in a sorority. So my member class is 23. Her member class is 24. She's just like a year younger in the sorority as me, but we're the same age. But she's just a semester behind in her studies, basically. But the reason we connected so well is because there was an event that Crew was hosting called Questioning Christianity.
Yeah.
And it was this guy, I forget his name, but he came and spoke. He was originally Muslim.
Oh.
And he converted to Christianity because Jesus lit him up. It was just a whole, I can't really remember much of it, but it's just his whole testimony, basically. And people could come and like question, like, why do you think this is?
Yeah. Like,
just question Christ, basically. But she texted me and was like, yeah, I want to go to the Sisterhood event, but I want to go to this event at 8. And I was like, oh, what is the event? And she's like, oh, it's like Christianity. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to that too. So, like, we really, like, bonded over the fact that we were, like, really, like, growing in our faith.
Yep.
And I think God just blessed both of us with each other.
There's a reason he put you in your lives.
She went through a rough time at a different college because she had transferred her second semester last spring semester.
Okay.
And I obviously was going through a breakup.
Yep.
With a non-believer, so it was like, a lot of different emotions. Not that I didn't believe anymore, but it was just a lot of different emotions going on. But yeah,
that's so cool.
He just blessed us with each
other.
But
you have this like little. It's like you guys are this little lighthouse.
Yeah.
But it's like how Christ just works. It's like. I don't know. But he makes you so close. It's like my friend Lacey, who's been on here. We joke because she's like the hunter and I'm like the girl from the city, and it's like, how are we friends? What's going on? But it's like, God, you don't know what God's gonna do to bring you together, and thank God for relationships in Christ. Especially through the challenging seasons. Speaking of challenging seasons. I want to talk more about what brought you to this different faith, this deeper dependence on God.
Well, my dad passed away in 2022, right?
I think it was. Is it 4 years? I know. I forget the year my dad passed too. So.
I don't know. I don't even remember half of what happened. But he had passed away, and our relationship was a little strained. I'm not going to say it was horrible. I'm not going to say it was perfect, but it wasn't the best.
Yeah.
We had our ups and downs like everyone does. Yes. Personally, I think he had a problem with alcohol, but,
Yeah, I got it, girl.
Yeah, I don't know. But,
he just had his own issues.
Yeah, probably. He had his own issues, and I had mine,
Yeah.
I didn't appreciate his issues.
Yeah. And you were probably a budding teen, so you
had some
hormones going on.
Yeah, I was kind of my sister's right now.
Yeah.
I was very teenage angst.
Yes.
But, it was a lot to handle, especially, going through my own changes and such. And then he got clean from alcohol, and we started building this relationship for a year before he had passed. So I was still very standoffish with him just because I wasn't, it wasn't what I've known from him. So
you're like, is this real?
Yeah. So I kind of waited, and then he passed away, and I kind of kicked myself and was upset with God because I was like, why would you do that if we were building a relationship, and if that's what is supposed to happen? Supposed to be good with my dad. I'm supposed to have that relationship with him. But so that kind of happened. I didn't really fall back on God as much at that time. I mean, I couldn't even go into church because
that makes sense.
That's where we had the funeral and everything, and I physically couldn't go in there, and I was like, Mom, I'm just not gonna go anymore. I can't walk in there without crying.
Totally
so it's
understandable. Yeah.
I just kind of stepped out of it, and then.
So you were what? 8? Were you still in high school? Or?
Yes, this was my junior year of high school. Okay. So it was 2022. Because it was in April. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep, and then my senior year came around. All my friends had graduated 2022, so I was kind of alone a little bit, but I still had a few friends that I'd hang out with, and I got really close to one girl. And we kind of ended up being friends with some of these guys that were very let's go party, let's go do this, let's do that. So I kind of ended up in that little headspace of ooh, this is exciting, oh my gosh, college is just going to be so much better. It's going to be this on 100. I'm so excited. And then, then I went to college. And wowza, did I go to college. I really just...
Did it up?
I did everything in the book that everyone tells you, go do the college experience, get the college experience. Ooh, mama. So that happened, and one night I was just cleaning, I wasn't I was kind of upset over my dad already, just that night just felt weird. And then I'm sitting on the floor, cleaning my book area, because I love reading. So I had like a little bookshelf thing, and I grabbed my Bible to move it, and I just sobbed.
That is so cool.
Like, just straight up.
I mean, sorry, but... No,
straight up sobbed. Just as like... And I remember the line of the song, because it was a Zach Bryan song.
Oh.
It was the Fear and Fridays poem, not the song. It was the poem. Okay. And it was, I have stood at the top of the Empire State Building with my father.
Really?
And I was there for a minute. I just started rocking back and forth like I did when I was in the hospital when I found out my dad died. Mm-hmm. I literally, not taken aback to that moment, but I was feeling that like moment again. And I was like, I need to like, this like, my life needs to change because sleeping around is not doing it for me. Drinking my life away is not doing it for me.
Isn't that shocking that it doesn't?
But it was definitely a different, like, it was a change in mindset, like a full 180. Now, not perfect. Yeah, no. Second semester wasn't as bad. Mm-hmm. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't as bad. Mm-hmm. And I did hold myself accountable to things more than I would have my first semester. But then that summer before my sophomore year, which was this past year, I got really close to God and like going to church every Sunday, like really feeling the presence of the Lord in my life. And then when I went back to college, I was like, all right, I need to find a church like ASAP, and we're gonna stay on this fiery path. Met Cameron right before I left.
Yes, you did. It was like August.
Yeah, it was August 8th, actually, the day before my birthday. We met, and then we started dating 2 weeks before I left. Yep. For college, so like later in August. Non-believer, which didn't know at the time because he came to church with me every Sunday. But that was because he knew I wanted him to, not because he wanted to, which, all right, but I want you to come. Yeah. Because you want to come. But it kind of just derailed my, like, second semester, was it? No, this is first semester of my sophomore year. It's, like, kind of derailed that a little bit. I still was, like, seeking the Lord and like reading my Bible and trying to like really understand his word and stuff, but it was just harder because I had this man that I thought I had prayed for and that was sent by God, even though I prayed the removal prayer like 13 times. I remember that. Yep. Like every single time like something I felt was off about a relationship, every single time removal prayer never happened. So I was like, okay, we just have to work at this. Like, it's a working relationship. Mm-hmm. We can do it. We did not do it. Nope. But that's okay.
Remember in church that one time and I was praying over you and you were like, I just prayed the removal prayer. It's not what I wanted. It was so funny.
Yeah, well, that was like the 10th time and I was like, dude, like, this is the 10th time you've given my hopes up, man. Yep. But, I mean, I feel like I should only have to pray it once. Yeah. But, you know. Who knows? But yeah, so that kind of derailed it. And then once we broke up, that was when I was like, all right, let's go to Greek Wide. Because I've been wanting to all my first semester. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to do it. And it was funny because the girl who had recruited me while I went through recruitment for a different sorority, because you meet all different sororities during recruitment, she like was there. And I was like, oh, hey. And she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited you're here. Mm-hmm. And then afterwards, after we had our whole entire thing, she like came up to me and she was like, you know, it's really funny. I literally prayed before I walked in today that someone new would come in. And I was like, really? And she's like, yeah, now you're here.
Love it.
And so it was really just like all in God's timing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But now I'm
trying to figure it
out without, you know, having like 100% support systems all the time. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. And as an adult, trying to figure it out.
Well, and here's the thing. You're going to be a junior. I just want to, like, make a statement of how brave you are and how, like, like God is obviously working in your life because you're still in college and you're having this really, granted, you went through a huge trauma. And when we go through those things, it's like life just kind of gets a little insane. And like, it's like we figure out we need God at really weird time, you know, because you're like, I just lost my dad and whoa. So I think it's really cool that that stuff happened when you're still in college. Like, so because when I was in college, but if you think about it, like, you know, so you lost your dad before college. And so you're walking into college with this traumatic experience. And, you know, I think you put together, like, because when I got to Notre Dame, I was a transfer student. I was comparing like crazy. I was like, you know, everybody has their families put together. Everybody, you know, I'm not as smart as everybody. And it was real academically, Notre Dame I was not one of the valedictorians. So I was like, and for me, I turned to drinking because I was really good at drinking. And, you know, I was like the partier. And, but it's like, I feel like, and we're going to talk about it, but all of that and the pressures of college to fit in and all that, it's like, and there are those of us that we will pick up the drinking or the guy or the food. And it's like, you know, it's not the same as when one of our friends has it and they're like, oh yeah, we're good. We just had that. And it's like, it never was the same for me because I'd always been kind of numbing it, you know?
Yeah.
So
definitely.
I'm glad you kind of called out your numbing. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I knew it was from the moment.
Yep. You started.
Since the moment I started, I knew it was just a distraction from my relationship with my dad. Yep. And then like afterwards it was like, oh, well, I don't have a dad in my life anymore. Yep. So
and
now
then it becomes the excuse.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so true.
Of like oh, I do need, like, I need a man in my life because I don't have a dad. So.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
Or I need to drink, like, I have vivid memory of when I was little and I'd be like, I need to eat that because my parents got divorced. It becomes this excuse to use, you know? But that also makes me think about, and you and your dad, you kind of mentioned it, but it's like, you didn't have a great relationship before. It wasn't like he passed away and you were really close. It's like you didn't have a great one before. So you kind of had... You know, having a tough relationship with your dad can make an impact even without him passing. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Because I know when I went to college, like, I was so terrified of leaving my mother because my dad had left her. And it was like, I think I felt this guilt about... Yeah. And I think more of you like, some of you youngins, like, you don't get to talk about those things in college. Yeah.
As much as I do love my mom, I did not feel guilty about leaving her.
Yeah, no, but everybody's different.
Like for college and that wise.
You're like, just because,
yeah, because ever since I was a sophomore in high school, we were always like, I cannot wait to move out. Like I'm so excited, and she's like,
yeah, but then you were like, then you're like, I just want to be home, and I was like,
well, I missed having like meals cooked for me.
Yeah, it makes a difference when you have a home cooked meal.
Yeah,
yeah.
But now it's like more like. I've kind of realized my responsibilities as I've gotten older, and I'm like, I as much as I want my mommy, I can't have her 24/7.
No, you can't. And you become you spread your wings, you fly, you soar.
It's like kind of.
I know it's hard.
It makes me like nauseous. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just fully like said low key as in like. That's
good. So I just want to talk about the pressures of college. I have written down the academics, figuring out what you want to do with your life, the pressure to be popular, pressure to party, I guess.
Yeah, that is a big pressure. Even if you're not in Greek life, it's a huge pressure. Just because, like, Western
is a party school, quote unquote party school. Yeah.
Other schools call us Western. As in, like, wasted.
Yeah, I got it.
Either wasted away, as in, like, you don't care about studies, you don't want to do anything with your life, you're kind of rotting. Or you're wasted out partying and rotting.
Not the greatest reputation.
No. But my mom, she went there. She's like, it's not. I'm like,
Yeah, it is.
I'm like, yeah, it is. I mean, it might have changed since you've been here in the last couple years.
But it's like, if you want to be a person that's trying to make healthy choices, like I could not, like if I stopped drinking in college, like I had, when I was in the hospital after I got so wasted the one time, the guy was like, you have an alcohol issue. And I was like, there was no way I was going to stop drinking because nobody really accepted it.
Yeah.
You know, like, why aren't you drinking? Like tailgates. Like I was like always hosted these huge tailgates and now I can't go near them when I go to a Notre Dame game because it's like, I can't, nope, too much.
Yeah.
And what do you think the pressures cause? Anxiety?
Yeah. I think it's mostly just like seclusion. Like,
Isolation kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, well, social media probably adds to it.
Yeah, it's just like you don't feel like you really have a place.
Oh, interesting.
Like, not that if you don't go party, you have a place. But it's like, if you're just sitting in your dorm room, especially as a freshman, if you're just sitting in your dorm room, you're not part of clubs, you only go to class, like you don't go out, you feel alone. And like, yes, you might have friends, but maybe those friends want to go out and you don't.
Yep.
You're like, you have nothing.
I just don't want to.
You feel like you have no one to be with you, you know? Like,
nobody gets you.
Yeah, no one like understands like why or what you're doing. Like, you're only there to do your school and that's it. So that's why I really push like, go out, not like out and like party, you know? I mean, you can if you want, but like go out and
socialize.
Put yourself out there, like join that group, you know, even if it's like, oh, I have a love for chess just in my basement with my dad. Go join a chess club.
Exactly.
Just do it. You will not regret it. And, you know, a lot of the time, you can just leave. You don't have to be there.
Right.
So just try it. Right. You know, that's what I tell people.
Yeah, what do you enjoy?
Yeah. Like, take your hobbies and make it so that you can make friends. That's what I did with volleyball. I joined the volleyball club team. And, I mean, I can't do it this semester as much as I wish I could. I just have too much on my plate. I barely have enough time for a Sabbath, if I'm being completely honest, which kind of hurts my soul a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
But we'll make it work. But next semester, yes. And I'm very excited about that because I've never played in second semester. I've only played first semester. So it'll be a different change. But
Yeah, and it's funny because I think sometimes you think when you go to college, you got to be, to be included, you got to go party. And that's definitely why I was. And I, like, sometimes, like, when I first got sober, I was like, man, I wish I would have sang. Like, I grew up singing. I'm like, why didn't I join these singing groups? And I remember telling my friends, like, I want to go sing. And they'd be like, oh, what do you do that for? That's for dorks. You know? Like,
I take full pride in being a dork. If
but I didn't. I was so desperate to be included. Yeah. So it was like, oh, I have to go to the parties. And
like, me and my her name's Isabel, or Izzy, what we call her. Well, I call her Isabel, but it's just because I'm like her mom in the sorority. Technically, we can't say that, but you know, it is how it is. But we always talk about how we are like, oh, we're not dorks, we're not geeks, and then like Star Wars comes on like our phones, and we're like, ah! Or like Harry Potter. Yeah, it's just so funny. We like geek out over the funniest things, but
you don't care.
No. I mean, like, Star Wars is awesome. Yeah. So was Harry Potter.
Yeah. So do you think this isolation, I know you're like the most anxious generation, is part of what is making people cry out for God? Not everybody. I know not everybody is into it.
Yeah. But I would say yes, but it's also, I think, the overwhelmingness of the world today.
Yeah, I agree.
And like the state of what our world has actually just become.
Yep.
Because I've had my moments where I'm just like, I want to get online and be like, you guys are crazy. Why do you think this way? Why are we, like, why do you care?
Why is this happening?
Why do you care so much about something that does not matter and will not matter in a week? Like, I just don't understand the whole, like, bickering and battles and, like, yelling at people because they believe one thing and then, you know, like, it's like
petty stuff.
Yeah, I just don't understand it, and so it really works me up to the point where I'm like, you guys are so dumb. Like, why are you doing this?
And that's where you gotta really step away from it.
Yeah, and it's like, I think it's just like kind of makes people go crazy.
It does.
And
it's like leaving politics. Like, I watch politics. If somebody tries to engage me, like, oh, I worked at the White House, I'm like, I'm not you're not going to bait me. And it's not always like they want to know how the experience was, but I'm like, I am not going to get in discussion with you because I know in today's world where it can go.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's just like, I think a lot of that has to do with like turning to God's word. And like, I think just in general, a lot of people, I would probably argue that at least 80% of Americans, or like my generation, grew up in some sort of religion.
Okay.
Maybe. I mean, I would personally, that's what I would say, just because like, I mean, that's kind of where I grew up at. Looking at my, within my like realm of people, they grew up either believing it, not like fully practicing like a religion,
like knowing there is a God, or believing.
Yeah, but they know that there is one.
Yeah.
And they like one of my best friends from high school, she doesn't like go to church all the time. Like, she's maybe gone a couple times with me, maybe, but she knows there's a God. She's known that there's a God and Jesus is real, like, since she was little. But it's not like it's not like a practice, like a daily practice.
She doesn't have an understanding.
Yes, which she wants to, which is beautiful, but also at the same time, there's no like effort for it yet, which is fine. I mean, it's fine as long as
she's not there yet. But when she is,
But it's like, I would say like a good amount of people have like a little background knowledge and believe that there is one, just don't know for sure. They're like in their head like, but do I really have to go?
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's like, it feels like it's probably, especially when you're in college, it feels like it's another job to do. But where it's like, it's supposed to be a comfort.
Yeah, because as much as I would love to go to church every single Sunday while I'm at college, physically I can't get out of bed because that is my one day. Actually, it's not my one day. I actually have stuff in the evening, but like for Sigma Kappa, we have our weekly meetings on Sunday nights, which is fine. But it's like, that's my one day that I'm just like,
I know.
I have nothing to do till 6 o'clock at night. Perfect.
Yeah.
I can just chillax.
Well, the cool thing I think about today is that you can watch a service online if you can't go. So you can lay in your bed and watch it online. Like, you know what? I can't make it there, but I need, like Mike and I just did that when we were coming home from Philly. Like, we need a sermon. Like, you know. And that's how life is sometimes.
And I think it's also like, even with my ex-boyfriend, every time he came to church, he like afterwards he would be like, I feel like he was talking about me, like my problems. Did you like tell him what I'm going through? Because
you're beginning to listen for the Lord, and he's not.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm like, no, that's just how it works.
Yeah,
it's applied to your life.
Yeah.
Like, it should apply to you.
Yeah.
Anything that is talked about in a sermon, I know you can use it in your life some way.
Or it's something that applied to some season of your life in the past.
And, like, you might not be over, and you can...
It's supposed to challenge you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I was like, duh.
Yeah.
Like, duh, it does.
But if people don't want to receive it,
they
sit in church, it's like they almost kind of squirm because it's like, I don't want to know what God wants to do in my life, because the world teaches us to be, it's all about us. It's all about it. The world isn't showing us that God wants to guide us in life, you know? Yeah.
I kind of forget where I was going with it.
That's all right. I want to talk a little bit about some of the stuff we're seeing with Gen Z and Jesus, like the music, the bigger, going deeper in the Bible, like kind of like the evidence. But I want to talk about the influence of Christian music. I saw a clip from Fox News the other day with Charlie Kirk, who referenced a Billboard thing about
like the hottest
60% increase in Christian music over the last 5 years. And I'll put the clip in my show notes, but I was like, that is so huge, you know? And we were just talking about Forrest Frank. And just how many people are, I mean, when you watch the footage of some of these concerts, it's like, he's just so, and this Lemonade song he just came out with, I mean, it's awesome. You know, like he just, you know, breaks his back and then like,
in 2 weeks he's healed. I saw that because I follow him on socials. So it's like kind of funny. He's like, it's like, he like was like, all right, guys, it's been 2 weeks. and I'm miraculously healed.
Yeah. He's like, did we witness a miracle? Yeah. But I think it's also that he's very real.
Yeah.
You know?
And
you were talking about how the music seems more secular.
Like, when you first hear it, especially if you're a non-believer, you're going to assume this is a secular song.
Yes, you will.
It's just, another song, like, oh, it's about lemonade, like, woohoo. Like, there's other songs that are, like, called Lemonade or, like, have, like, that, like, feel to it. But, like, unless you're really listening, you won't know.
Nope.
Which...
Hear about Jesus, hear about my God.
Yeah.
But
you won't, like, fully understand that it is a Christian song until you're really listening to it and you're like, oh.
Yep.
Wait, so Christian music is good. Because people expect it to be this slow, kind of hymn type deal. Which, personally, love hymns.
Yeah.
Love them. Like, I love hymns.
Do you?
I really do.
That's so funny. I grew up on hymns, and now I just love worshiping. Like
I really do. Just kind of throw them in there. I love them. I just
You like the tradition of them.
Yes. I don't know. I'm a very traditional.
Yes, you are.
I love tradition. I love ritual type deal stuff.
Yeah, I get it.
I feel connected to things when it's kind of like that. But back to the Frank Forrest,
Forrest Frank.
Forrest Frank. Why did I say Forrest? Forrest Frank. It's it feels like I'm listening to a regular pop song. But I'm not, and I know I'm not, which makes me feel 10 times better about listening to music.
And it's funny because I started watching some of his reels, because Elliot likes them, and I started watching some of his reels, and and then I started seeing all these other younger artists. I got in the car last night and hear some song that kind of sounds like that, and I'm like, this has an amazing beat to it. I'm like, okay, this is pretty awesome.
There's a couple, Brandon Lake.
Well, that's just...
Yeah, I don't think he's that young. Right?
No, he's mid-30s, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, he is, he can tailor to both parties.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. He was going to be my next person. I've seen him in concert twice, once with Phil Wickham and once with just him, and he is powerful, and he has a fire for your generation, and because he said something, and I think I recorded at the concert, because he said something like, Gen Z is they're under so much spiritual warfare right now, because I believe that the Lord has anointed them to just be the cycle breakers, to just change the world. And I was like, yes. And, I think he's got a heart, his music. I mean, he rips those new good songs just like Forrest Frank, and I don't love every one of his songs, but I do love a lot of them. And a lot of them are kind of about that overcoming, which I always love. But a lot of people are kind of criticizing him because of his connection with Jelly Roll. And honestly, that song is not my favorite. But
it's also not a bad song. And I've seen a lot of just country artists switching to putting more Christian-based things in their songs, which is amazing because as much as people would argue, as a lot of country music is they are so set in faith, even if it's just a tradition, how you just practice it rather than believe it. But they're one of my favorite artists, her name is Ann Wilson. She just really played at Elkhart, and my mom wouldn't go with me, so I was really upset.
I'll go to
I was really upset, and it was the tickets were $30. I was
I saw her open for Zach Williams.
Oh, yeah. So she's a Christian country artist. She's been trying to push towards more country just so she can get a bigger reach.
But her songs are all very...
But they're very, Christian based, and I love it. Because it's, exactly what I want from a country song.
Yep. Yep. And it's happening more and more, I think. And, I think you kind of... It kind of gets delicate, because I just saw Jelly Roll was hey, when they talked about that Coldplay thing with that couple they was having, he was like, hey, if you have a mistress, you can bring her to my concert. And I was like, okay, don't totally approve of that. So it can be kind of delicate, and that's why the Bible kind of says don't be yoked together with unbelievers. But I do think there's an impact that Brandon has made.
Especially there's a guy, his name's Alex Warren. I don't know if you've heard of him.
I think
he had a controversy with one of his songs called "The Ordinary," and because it's talking about angels being jealous of the relationship that God had brought him and his wife. So it's kind of like there was like a controversy there.
Right.
Then he came out with Bloodline, which is with Jelly Roll too, and it's like talking about the overcomer person.
Right.
Like it's like you don't have to follow in your bloodline is like one of the lines, and like
you can break it.
Yeah, and it's like my favorite part is like, oh my brother, you. Oh wait, no, that's the same line. Hold on, what is the line? It's like, God's not done with you yet.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah. Yeah, you'll have to send it to me.
Yeah, I will. But
yeah. But I do think he is making an impact. I mean, when I've gone to his concerts, I mean, people get saved at his concerts, and you know, I mean, so anyway, let's talk about the increase in purchasing in Bibles. According to an article I read in Relevant Magazine, over the course of 2024, Bible sales rose 22%. Mm-hmm. And according to American Bible Studies State of the Bible report, 21% of Gen Z reported reading the Bible more in 2024 compared to just 9% who said they were reading less. So, and he quoted, "The stereotype of Gen Z as spiritual, not religious, is accurate but incomplete. They are not showing up for tradition, opposite of you. Mm-hmm. They are showing up for answers." Yeah. And it's funny because I'm borderline Gen Z millennial, and that's kind of how I am. It's like, no, you need to tell, like, I want to really know who Jesus is. Why did he die for me? Like, when I started my faith walk, it was that, give me answers. Yeah. You know? I
have really, personally, this is just me, I've really sat in and stood still in the fact that I know he has a plan for me, and I'm just going to let him do it. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I had so much anxiety from like my teen years till like about a couple months ago. Mm-hmm. Like just about like my future and my life and the steps I need to take to get there. And I was just like, stop. Yeah. You know, you're not in charge. So now it's just more like when things don't happen, I'm like, all right, God, you wanted that not to happen. Yeah. And sometimes I feel like I can kind of catch myself taking it a little too far. Yes. In the fact that like, oh, if this happens, then you must have like wanted it to happen. But it's also like I am still new in that deeper connection, so I really it's just discernment really at that point that I have to figure out and stuff like that. But
I think it's a huge thing for your generation because there's so much of that. How's my life going to go? It's all about those expectations. Yep. When am I going to meet the right guy? Mm-hmm. What is my job good? Where am I going to... Like, there's so many things, so much pressure you put on yourself. Yeah.
The biggest one that I really struggle with and, like, trusting him and letting him do his thing is, like, a husband, basically. Yeah. It's like, when am I going to meet my person? Mm-hmm. And...
He's not going to tell you.
I know. He doesn't tell me. And, like, I even pray sometimes. I'm like, show me, give me wisdom. Give me, like, come speak to me in my dreams tonight. Yeah. Like, I want to see you, and I want to talk to you. Yeah. Come into my dreams tonight. Mm-hmm. Because, like, that's the most time I feel like I'm, like, relaxed enough and, like, at peace enough to have that interaction. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's other times, obviously, when I'm conscious, but, you know. Yeah. You hear about, who was it? Is it Samuel? It's in Samuel.
Oh, yes.
Yes. He had, like, dreams and such, or, like, heard God's voice, like, you know. So like,
he does show up in dreams. Yeah. It's just not always, like, on command.
You know? Yeah, I know. Like, so, like, I have those, like, just, like, sometimes before I go to bed, I'm like, my dream, like I want to talk to you because like it's also like there's a part of me that's like I want you to reveal yourself to me so I know what I'm doing is effective in my life. Yes, because we're also like as a generation we're also trained to be like these things are real because it is effective in your life. And it's like kind of like if you see it you know it's real like type of thing.
It's the evidence, but the thing about faith is there is no evidence, and you have to seek him. That's why he says, seek me above all else. Yeah. And it's like, even that, like, it's almost like when Catholics talk about, like, okay, can you do this, and this, you know? And it's like, he doesn't, like, he wants us to bring it to him, and he knows it's in our heart. Mm-hmm. He knows what you want. Yeah. You know, but he's also like, get to know me. Yeah. You know, like you're saying, like, reveal yourself to me. And
it's harder to be like, to give everything all at once, and that's where I'm at with like the whole like life partner type deal. Like,
oh yeah,
I'm like, I don't know if I can give this to you because I feel like it's never going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Which I know is wrong. I think. I don't know. Because it could be called in the sin list, which is a little scary, but that's also why I don't want to give it to him, because it's like, I don't want to do that.
See where your feet are, but you also have to be like, I love you however this turns out. But also knowing that he wants the best for you.
Yeah.
You know, like if you have this huge desire in your heart to be a wife and mom, then, you know, he wants to bless you, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like, you have to understand, like me, like I always joke, like, you think I was 3 years old, wanted to marry a guy who'd been divorced with 3 kids? Yeah, no, you know, he did it differently, but he gave me the just right guy for me.
Yeah. Know? And that's like, I don't know. I mean, I've played house since I was like 2.
Yeah.
I'm the mom.
MASH? Did you play MASH?
Yeah.
It's funny you're saying all this because some of you may be college kids, because they had him in the newspaper at Notre Dame. What's the horoscopes? I would read horoscopes. Like, is this going to tell me I'm going to meet my dream?
Which is weird for Notre Dame.
Yeah, but it's not. It's like, I think because there's so much tradition in it, you're like almost looking for other things. Yeah.
Which I think is why a lot of Gen Z, or my generation in general, just are seeking God, because the world has been pushing crystals in the universe.
Thank you.
And horoscopes and just like other
mediums.
Yes.
Which the Bible talks so much about mediums and staying away from them.
Yeah. And it's like they've all kind of turned towards that, realized it wasn't good, or didn't give them the satisfaction or the answers that they knew were right, I guess. Because, like, yes, they give you answers, and in that moment, you can feel peace about it. Because, I mean, for a second there, I was all about that stuff.
Oh, I had my moments.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, yeah. You know? But once I went to the Lord with things, I was like, oh.
I don't need, what am I doing?
Yeah. So it's just, I think that's also that, is that they're like just looking for that.
Yes.
Not next thing, but like looking for that.
But they're not, but that's the thing, is they're seeking all those worldly spiritual things, which are lesser spiritual things, which they don't even know are open doors to the demonic, which is a whole other level, which we need to talk about sometime. But, you know, because it doesn't give you this, like, it may give you temporary peace. You may think it's working, but then it's like, wait a minute, I'm still shook. I'm still just a mess.
My favorite thing that I see a bunch of times, every single time I'm online, but I just saw actually last night, was when I tell people, like, my God is good, and they answer me with, then why is there suffering? I answer back, well, then if your crystals in your...
Oh, you do? You go, girl?
Well, I don't, but like this is what the girl said. I mean, I would.
Oh, okay.
But like, I mean, we know I would. Then your crystals in your universe and your mediums and your crystal
and your
mother and your crystal ball, and like, you know, like, if those are so good, why is there suffering? And then they're like, blah, 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 blah. But the thing that's different between the suffering from those and the suffering from God is that God gave us free will and allows us to freely choose him. So the suffering is just the product of your own sin.
Exactly.
Really. It's the end goal of it. It's like the end answer to that. Because he literally says, you reap what you sow. So it's like, it's not always him specifically saying, oh, you were bad today.
Yeah. And that's what a lot of people think. I always say the up there, not down here God. He doesn't know who you are. He's just condemning you. Like, I'm not saying that we don't have a God that is going to condemn, but he also is like, I want to bring you to repentance.
We deserve the wrath of him because we're dumb.
Yeah. And like,
as much as we think we're smart, we're pretty dumb.
Yes.
So, like, we do a lot of dumb things. Like, all of you guys, no matter...
You're human.
No matter how old you are, you've done some things that you wish you could undo. And
that's the beautiful thing about having a relationship with him. It's like, I was just doing it the other week. Like, there was something that I, like, was upset about. And then I was like, oh, I saw my role in it. And it's like, okay, Lord, excuse me. Like, forgive me for that. Like, I can see where I...
Like, even now, like, I have, like... Especially since my mission trip, I've gotten, like, really, like, good at hearing God like convicting me
Yeah.
of things, especially in my speech.
Yeah.
That's where it's come a lot.
Oh,
and
cool.
It's like, especially last night when I was just telling you about my conversation with my mom, I wanted to text her and be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I really didn't mean it like that. But, I mean, I did mean it like that. But it's like I wanted to, like, I felt bad instantly.
Yes.
Like, and I was like, oh. And that, you know, it could be a conviction. It could just be me realizing that I was horrible to, like, I said something not the nicest in the nicest way. But still, it's just like, it feels like a conviction. And it's like, I talked to God about it. And I'm like, I'm sorry for speaking that way. Which he has refined a lot of the way I've talked and the way I talk to people, especially when they are kind of irritating. So let's be honest. There's a good amount of those people. Which you just... Yeah. And it's like nothing against them. It's just sometimes we don't click.
Yeah, we're not the same people.
Yeah.
You know? Thank God you're not, you know?
Yeah, but definitely that.
Where do you think so they also said that people are sharing it more on TikTok, like hashtag Bible, and there's verses that trend less about rules and rituals and more about anxiety, hope, and purpose. So it's like it's really speaking to the hope.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's also like, I mean, we've seen where this, not that it's this generation's fault, but we've seen where the world has like gone to. And not necessarily everything that's happening now is a bad thing. Like, it's good to have like certain conversations about things, and it's good to like understand different points of view. But it's just like, at this point, it's just so insane and so crazy that people are like, I hope that this gets better. And the only thing that they see to change that is God. And like going to the Lord about it and being like, how can we change this? You know? So I think that's kind of where a lot of the hope comes from, is like, where
He's
the
the
world,
only one that's going to show us.
Yeah, where the world is today.
Yeah.
They're like, we need like a savior at this point.
Exactly.
Like, and they don't realize that they've already had one this whole entire time, but
they gotta receive his love.
Yep.
So the last one is Barna is this awesome research group that like has studied so much of Gen Z, millennials. They've like studied every generation. In early this year, they released an article about a 2024 poll they did on the emotional well-being of Gen Z. 39% say they're uncertain about the future. 39% say they're anxious about important decisions. 28% say they are lonely. This is everything we've talked about. 26% say they feel isolated from others. And like boomers and elders, it was like 16%, and Gen Z and millennials were like just a little bit like a little bit below on less. But you know, it shows that your generation is, like you just said, really wrestling with you know, purpose and and what's happening in the world and what's going on and how do I get through it? You know? So it's funny because it said church leaders can find encouragement. In our ongoing research of Gen Z, we see that young people with deep, engaged Christian faith consistently report less frequent issues with emotional well-being compared to their peers. Like, doesn't mean you don't have it, but it's like when you have a relationship with the Lord, you know who to go to. Yes. You know?
Yeah. Like, more recently, I'm not going to lie, I've been in a bit of a deep valley in the past month.
So I was asking you. Yeah.
But, you know, like, now I find myself, rather than, like, looking to just people in general.
Yeah.
Like, friends, like, social media.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Doom scrolling.
Yeah. Instead of looking to that, like, I found myself more, like, praying to the Lord and being like, what is happening? Like, I thought we were going so good. What's going on? And it's just like, if I'm being completely honest, I have no idea why I'm in this little valley thing.
But he's gonna carry you through it.
Yeah, but it's there. I'm like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, it's funny because I just went through this little very brutal season out with my mom, and I mean, our relationship has gotten better, but it was an intense couple weeks, and I got back, and I'm like feeling super good, and like, but last night and today, the enemy has just been trying so hard, and I'm like. And one of my friends was like, yeah, of course, because you're trying to do a podcast about Gen Z and, and you're doing so much in your ministry. And I'm like, yeah, he doesn't want us to get close to God. He doesn't want us to share our faith. He doesn't want us to lean on the Lord. He wants us to escape.
I mean, even like, I think a lot of it has to do with I know what's coming up for me in the next
so you're like
weeks.
Pre-anxious.
And like my whole September booked out.
Shocker.
Every single day I have something going on, except a couple Saturdays, which is blessed. So thankful for that. But it's just like I'm not one to just like kind of waste my time.
Yep.
With like, especially when unfortunately in this world you need money to live.
Yeah.
And I hate it because half the time I feel greedy about it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, am I sinning because I'm working? Like, and like wanting all this money from my job? Mm-hmm. But like, that's just like a thing, you know?
No, but it's good to be, like checking in with yourself. Like,
yeah.
Am I taking this too far?
Yeah. And like, I mean, I'm going to be working as a sub and a coach for like, then in September is when we do formal recruitment, which is a week-long process. And it's like 5 to 6 hours of straight up just talking. Ugh. And you get like 10, 15 minutes between rounds. And you're like, I can't breathe. There's so much going on. But
it's a short thing. It's a sprint. You're
yes.
Like, okay, I can do a sprint.
Yep.
It'll end.
And it starts on Monday. Because I have tryouts for coaching, and I'm like start getting like into that, which it's fine because it's like very like kind of low key. Like I just have that one thing, and then work week starts for my sorority on the 24th, which is a Sunday. All that week I have practice for recruitment, practice for volleyball, for coaching, and then school starts on that Wednesday. So I have 2 classes because I have a class on Wednesday and a class on Thursday. And then I can start subbing because they start school on the 18th of August. So it's like I'm already throwing in some sub stuff in there.
Oh, honey. Well, and here's the thing I'll tell you.
I might just send you a picture because I think you'd really enjoy my schedule.
I probably would.
You'd really laugh.
I'd be like, haha, good luck with that. Because that's the thing is when we overextend our schedule, that's when we learn like, because life is always about like, okay, let me see what I can do. What can I not do? Yeah. You'll figure it out.
And the thing is like, I am really excited to like push myself in this way because honestly, when I get married and have kids, this is probably what my life's going to look like if I do work.
It will be busy, yeah.
Yeah, if I do work, which please don't let me work. But, that's just...
But you may be doing something that you're passionate about because God's got a purpose for you. Like me, like I always say, like, my ministry is like my second kid, because I love it.
Yeah. But life's going to be busy like this all the time, and I have to find time for the Lord.
You do.
Regardless.
You do.
So it's like...
Well, and you may pray, like, Lord, help me find time for you this fall.
Yeah. So it's like, I got it. And really, the only hard month is really just that last week of August and all of September, basically. But, I can sprint for 40 days.
You totally can.
Who's
done it for 40 days?
Yeah. I was just about to say, that's kind of funny.
Yeah. It's amazing. I always say that, like, wow, this is 40 days long. Oh, isn't that interesting? Like, that happens so often. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of funny now. Yeah. Click.
So, all that being said, it's funny because I always think about college kids and your schedule, and it's not just you. I know a lot of you have these insane schedules if you're in clubs or you're, you're studying,
Especially when I was an engineering major, because I started as an engineering major. You don't love it, don't do it.
Yeah, no.
Just don't do it. Especially double major.
Oh, no thanks.
I took 7 classes I think it was 18 or 19 credits my first semester.
First semester.
As a freshman. I withdrew from calculus because I was not ready for that.
It's bad.
I didn't fail.
Good for you.
Because I withdrew from calculus. I didn't fail any classes. But I didn't pass them with the grade I would want.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But yeah, it was definitely even hard for me then because I had just gotten to a sorority and like I'm playing volleyball too, and it's like
pressures. It's all the pressures.
It's like, oh my gosh. Yeah. So quickly learned that that's not for
me. Yeah. Well, but that's what you do. My dad used to always say you got to do what you don't want to do to find out what you do want to do. You know, and it's true.
And then I went to business, and then I was like, well, this isn't enough for me. And I was like, oh, maybe education. Well, I always wanted to be a teacher, and now I'm at the point where I'm like, I have to stick with it. Yeah. I can't just switch anymore. Yeah. I don't have the time
to keep flipping.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I did politics. I was an American Studies major, and now I write. And,
well, I've always wanted to go into law. I can still go to law school
with. Great lawyer. Yeah.
I know everyone says that, but yeah.
But you don't have to know that right now.
Yeah.
You can change it.
Yeah.
You can
and I can't
later.
go to law school with whatever degree I get, and I'll have a business degree. And the degree I'd want to go, what I want to go for law school is corporate, so it's business anyways. So it's like I already have a pretty good enough background. So
yeah, it may change.
Yeah.
So fascinating. So one of the things I've been thinking about, and I haven't told you about, is like, how do I give you guys wisdom while you're in school? Like, you know, like we were talking about daily devotions. And I could work on that, maybe having some younger women doing it, but I am going to kick off, I'm talking about at the end of this, a like spiritual training, like basic training for helping girls go deeper with God. Simple concepts like weekly videos to help you really like, it's almost like something you could think about all week. Like, wow, like, oh, it is more about relationship than religion, or just basic stuff that you don't get to talk about in everyday life, but it helps you reflect.
Yeah.
Because you're all so busy. Like, it's hard to get you guys into a group like that isn't on campus, you know?
Yeah, especially like the only reason right now I have a small group with a different church is because our Greek-wide group isn't really in session that much.
Yep.
Because, like, I mean, we still do it. I haven't gone, unfortunately. I kind of feel bad about that. But, like, it's like maybe 3 of the people that live up in Kalamazoo during the summer.
Yeah,
and
it's different in the summer, yeah.
It's harder for me to actually want to go because I'm not going to see everyone that I'm really excited about seeing. So it's like, because as much as it is you're going for the Lord, you're also going because you're going to see your friends.
Yep.
And see people you haven't seen in a week, and you're like so excited to see them. But, like, I mean, me and my little joined a new group, and it's been great. And we're probably going to go to that church during the school year, which is good because then I don't have to drive an hour.
Yeah, it's huge, yeah.
Because, like, I'm very picky with my churches.
Yeah. Well, and to have one at school is that you want to go to. Yeah. Humongous.
Yeah, and she really loved it. Like, she loved when she went there. She loved the way it was.
Yep.
And it really just feels like it would be like the same as Summit.
Yeah.
Like, hopefully it's not one of the mega churches, because those kind of give me like a standoffish feel.
Yeah.
But I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah, but the cool thing is when you go into, I was just texting with a girl last night who moved to Florida, and I was like, you know, when she's struggling with the transition, I'm like, okay, find a church where you feel comfortable. Like, and it's not just, you need to go to a church. It's like you're going to find people that also have a belief in God. You may not be in their everyday life, but especially if you find other young adults, like, oh, okay, I know I'm not alone.
Yeah.
You know?
And this is just to say for, like, young people watching, or even, like, millennials, because this age, from, like, millennials to my generation, is very big on, like, talking about your feelings. And, like, a therapist, you know, that's, like, kind of like a normalized practice in a lot of people's lives. Finding a church is like finding a therapist. You try out different ones until you find the one that you feel most comfortable in.
And some of you may need therapy. I needed therapy for a long time, but one of the things we're also trying to do with my ministry is provide like life support groups so that you can talk about the feelings in a safe environment with other Christians, because it's not a bad thing. Jesus had feelings. We were created with feelings. There's nothing bad about feelings. The problem is the world pushes us to run our life by our feelings.
Yeah,
so
and
you like really,
and it causes your feelings should not cause you to sin.
Yes, they should not be steering the ship of your life. But sometimes they do. Sometimes stuff happens and your feelings are out of whack. And going to church helps you get grounded because it gets you tuned into God. But it's also like, some like especially trauma stuff, you may need some therapy. But I think a lot of your generation is like, therapy's the answer, drugs are the answer. They're both helpful in a lot of people, but I still believe you need God in it, because He's still the one that loves you the most. He created you, your body, your mind, everything, and He wants to renew it, you know? So if you're watching this and you're just starting school this fall, I highly recommend, finding, like, if you feel kind of alone, like we said earlier, it doesn't mean, if you want to pursue your faith, go to one of these churches.
Yeah. A lot of campuses, especially public school, have like especially on like welcome weeks, they have like the churches are always out. So like, especially that, like, I didn't take advantage of that. I kind of thought it was like, like, it's kind of weird. Like, I don't really want to do that. Until now I'm a part of one and I'm like, this is amazing. Yeah. So like, if you really want to make sure, like, if you're not planning on really doing much, like clubs or anything like that, if you're not in any clubs, like, if you don't really want to do much, like, just check out a on campus or off campus church, because they'll do stuff with campus kids, and like, definitely, like, it's kind of like if you've been to youth group, it's kind of literally like that, but for college kids. Like, they still play like the high up Foursquare. I don't know what it's called. But like, I see them out there. They're hanging out. And I'm like, that looks fun. Yeah. Or also you can look for some campuses have a crew chapter. CRU if you don't know it, or some have Young Life. And there's like different ways. North Pines, which is the one that we'll be going to. Or like, that's where our small group originates from. We have Crew. We have Greek Wide, which it's not specifically for Greek Life kids, but that's where it like merges the two organizations. We have H2O. I don't know if we have Young Life. You might not. Not everybody does. I don't know. But yeah. So we have a lot. Like, there is a lot. Yeah, you can find it. And even if you go to a school where you're trying to explore your faith, like say you go to a Catholic school or a Baptist school and you're like, wait, I just want to pursue Jesus. Like, maybe like just... You can always join my weekly thing, but also like try to find a place where people are doing the same, because you're in that space of life where you're like, okay, what does life really mean? Because the whole purpose of Christianity, I feel, is like, 1, getting a relationship with God, 2, disciple making. Like, that is your mission as Christian, to make disciples, and you can only be discipled or disciple someone if you're going through life with them. So, and it's slow. And that's how me and my little are. Like, at first it was kind of like her discipling me a little bit. Then it was like me discipling her, and it's like we go through this back and forth depending on the season of like that we're in, basically. And it's awesome because it's that peer mentor, but we're both like back and forth with it. So, well, and that's one of the things we're doing with Guiding God's Daughters is we're training women. We've already trained a group. We're training women, and it's not all just going to be older women, like not older. I'm talking like not much older than you women. But we're planning on trying to train some your age peer mentors. So anyway, if you're interested, just keep track with us, and make sure you're following me on social media. Get Real with Meredith, and what else? Oh, and hopefully we're going to get the Guiding God's Daughters social account set up. And it's good. There's good stuff happening. Disciple making is happening because so many people are coming to Jesus. But those of us that are growing in our faith need to be there for these people, because once you get saved doesn't mean everything gets easy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No. And you need people to disciple you. Yes. So thank you for coming today. Yeah. Loved the conversation. It was fun.
Not that our conversations aren't always fun. But thanks for joining us today. And I pray this blesses you. And if you have somebody in your life that's Gen Z, please pass it on to them and make sure you subscribe. And I will see you next time.